Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a reading for the collective. Welcome, collective. So I'm not tuning into one person's specific energies. I'm tuning into the collective, reading very general energies. If you would like a reading where I tune into your specific energies, you can schedule an appointment. The link to do so is in the description box below. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Not all readings are going to be for you. So, collective. In the past, you were in the energy of throat chakra. So, throat chakra is right here. It has to do with communication, how you communicate, not just how you speak, but how you listen. Ooh, all right. It looks like there was a lot of negative speech, lies, brutal communication, confusing communication, communication that clouded people's judgment, broken communication. It's a partnership. So this broken communication was in some sort of partnership where there was distrust, disharmony, imbalance, tension. Wow. Lies, secrets. Oh, geez. Okay. So far, got the throat chakra, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and the Ace of Cups in reverse. So there is no love in this relationship. There was an emotional loss, emptiness, repressed emotions. So it feels like in this connection, if there was, it doesn't feel like there was much communication. And when there was, it was confusing communication and brutal and communication that caused chaos, lies, deception, secrets, maybe half-truths. Feels like in this relationship, they projected an image that everything was great and harmonious. This very well could be a marriage that we're talking about. Feels like both of these people wanted satisfaction and stability and emotional fulfillment. Someone in this relationship was courageous and independent, had a zest for life and joy. They had a lot of courage. They were willing to look at their shadow aspects. But in this relationship, there was no closure. It just went on in this very unsatisfying, disconnected, chaotic way of being. Feels like at some point might have been a very loving connection, but it just digressed into something else. Feels like these people stayed together because of a fear of change and a fear of loss, even though it was just a brutal connection. Someone in this connection was juggling. Maybe they were juggling their partner with someone from their past. Maybe someone they never really left. Maybe it was open-ended. Seems that when a problem would come up, instead of facing it, trying to deal with it, somebody would run to a third party and then come back and punish the person they were with, blaming the person that they're with that for their unhappiness, wanting to be with the third party, but unwilling to make a decision to leave, not telling the truth, creating a lot of chaos. Blaming it on their partner, blaming their unhappiness on their partner, causing a lot of confusion instead of being honest. So breadcrumbing. The partner, somebody would give and give and give into this connection, giving to their partner, and then that partner was going out and feeling fresh and well taken care of, and then giving their love to someone else. Feels like the person going out and creating and being active in a third party situation just has no access to their communication space, no access to their throat chakra. Feels like they use communication as a way to manipulate. They're afraid of taking a leap because if they left the connection for someone else, they would look like a really bad person. And so this person has a huge ego and doesn't want to appear in a bad light. So instead, they made their partner's life miserable. They stopped giving emotionally to the connection. They stopped communicating in the connection other than causing confusion and brutality. Oof. Feels like it was a part of a plan to punish their partner, make their partner leave them because they were ineffectual, a coward. their partner was someone who was fun, joyful, someone who is having a rebirth, someone who's positive and warm, courageous, has a zest for life. And whenever their partner would create success in their life, it created a lot of more brutality, because this person's ego was so large. They were like, all blessings come through me. How dare you create your own happiness? Ooh, it's a very immature way of being. So it feels like a lot of jealousy, out of control ego. Feels like they learned this from their family of origin. Maybe this is the type of relationship their parents had. All right, so in present time, collective, you are in the energy of dreams coming true. 9 of Cups. So collective, you're receiving your blessings, emotional stability, feeling satisfied. You're healing from this third-party situation. You're releasing the pain of it. You're moving on. You're becoming independent, financially independent, leveling up, having success in business. Looks like people turn to you for guidance. There's something very specific that you're able to do. Not only are you creating financial independence, you really enjoy your self-sufficiency, your luxury. There's, without this toxic relationship that you're giving and giving and giving to, now you're putting that energy into moving forward, healing, taking care of yourself. Feels like being in this toxic relationship in the past, it was blocking your blessings. It took a lot of bravery to step away from this connection, because this connection was familiar. I don't feel that you really understood how toxic this was, how purposeful your partner's behavior was to try to block your blessings, to punish you, to cause destability, to cause you to be unstable, to withhold. Feels like a lot of emotional manipulation. They withheld affection. So you would cleave to them, and it looks like you just leveled up and found emotional stability anyway. You started creating your own blessings, and now you're doing more of the same. You're releasing the burdens from the past. feels like you're starting to realize as you heal how toxic this connection was, how unfulfilling it was, how cruel and bitter this person is, and possibly even their third party person feels like they both sat around and blamed you, that you're the one keeping them apart. If it weren't for you, they could be together. If it weren't for you, like somehow you got the blame, and yet they stayed in the connection and made you miserable and punished you, and then communicated with their third party of what they did to show you. Yeah, confirming there's just a lot of gossip about you. And I have the feeling in the past you were just focused on working on your blessings and being you. You had no idea that you were being put into a third party situation, that you were put in competition, that someone else viewed you as competition. Feels like that was part of the attraction from their relationship, the sneaking around, feeling powerful. They enjoy putting the 10 swords in your back and talking to each other about the pain that they've caused you, collective. They could have just left the connection, but they stayed in it, punishing you and confusing you. You're moving on, you're working, you've got hard work. You're being very productive. You're finding a new routine in your life. Figuring out again how to create stability. Not just stability, but how to thrive, how to move forward. This was very painful in this past connection, and so confusing. But once you started getting the truth of it, it was much easier to let go. Looks like your person in your ex and present time is exhausted and burnt out. It takes a lot to hold on to lies. It takes a lot of energy to keep up the facade, to remember who you've told what half-truth to. And it's created a lot of stress in their life and stagnation because they're not really trying to advance, trying to grow. They're not trying to grow as a human being. They're trying to get away with. They're trying to manipulate and punish and play really low vibrational games. Judgment has been called. This person, maybe even the people around them, are being called to wake up, to consider what they've done, to stop this type of behavior and take responsibility. But they're resistant. There's a fear of sacrificing the ego. Ego death is very painful. If the ego perceives that they're dying, and so you double down on toxic traits to protect their perception of who they are. How others perceive them is much more important than the truth. I get the feeling that very few people know the extent of the brutality and the chaos that they created in your life. I feel like once you started fully seeing, stopped listening to what they said and paid attention to their behaviors, now you see them as a completely different person. You no longer see the facade that they projected. You're able to be very honest about yourself and how you allowed yourself to be deceived by the illusions, that you trusted them instead of trusting your intuition. This X in present time is having a hard time creating from such a darker energy. They're struggling. They're misaligned. They've caused so much pain. And they enjoy shattering people's dreams. It's a power play, a power trip. Ooh. All right, so collective, in your higher self is in Empress mode. Your higher self is saying, let's transmute those dark energies and create something wonderful out of that. An Empress doesn't get to where she is. She doesn't just jump into that role. She's had to work through being Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. She's had to master a lot to be in Empress mode. Feels like wherever you go, collective, that you're able to create abundance around you, to change something maybe darker and denser into something green and growing and beautiful. Feels like there's a lot of beauty. Feels like you're nurturing yourself. You're nurturing your work. There's a magic and a delight in what you do and how you do it. And so you've got good fortune on your side. Feels like this person in the connection created a lot of bad karma, unwanted karma. You know, someday they're going to have to receive what they dished out. And only then maybe they have an opportunity to see, wow, okay, now I get it. You put out just beautiful, wonderful energy, and you've healed, and you've just been focusing on yourself and taking care of yourself. And so you're receiving good karma. And your higher self is also saying, so another karma card, that there will be balance. There's justice and fairness. There's this law of cause and effect. We've got judgment and justice. This is a final judgment. The scales are being balanced. The truth is coming out. With justice, everybody gets weighed. Everyone's measured. It's very difficult for those who've found wanting. All right, your challenge right now, collective, is feeling alone. 5 of Pentacles, feeling separated. Feels like this situation in the past, you were very isolated. And maybe that's part of the plan of what your partner did, is keep you very isolated. So you had no one to go to, no one to support you, no one to believe you with how they were behaving. They could get away with that. Maybe you don't have family, or you didn't have family or friends that could call this person out. And so they felt very safe in treating this way and gaslighting you. Your challenge is feeling isolated, feeling hopeless, especially at night. There's some fear and worry and anxiety and more isolated. So you're feeling, your challenge is going at it alone versus being in a connection where you were unloved, lied to, mistreated. Feels like, at least in that connection, you were familiar with that. Maybe this is also the type of dynamic you had growing up. Your challenge is to allow people to come in, to work with others, to find collaboration, to build something new, to allow this to collapse, allow it to burn. It wasn't healthy. It was like an anchor in your energy. So your challenge right now is to build something wonderful and new. Take the skills that you have and take the knowledge, the wisdom that you've learned from this toxic connection. Take responsibility for co-creating it and staying in something that was wholly unhealthy. And part of the karma that they'll receive is you succeeding, that they tried to block your blessings. They did everything they can to destabilize you, to weaken you, to isolate you. And so your success is part of their lesson. It's also your karma for just focusing on you, of moving on with grace. So, all right, collective, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for joining in. Bye.